Everything we've done's led up to right now. Right now! This legacy are full of legends. You can become a legend today, boys. Put your stamp on history! Put your stamp on a legacy! It is going to take all of us. Men, be not afraid! Do not be afraid to be a legend!
Welcome back to OPA Podcast, post Georgia Southern Game 3 for the Golden Gophers. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Jason O.
My name is Larranz. Demetrius Douglas is back on the bus.
And Griffin.
And welcome back to this episode of OPA Podcast. I'm too lazy to recall what episode we're on because we got some things to talk about.
One of the things that their defense did their job this past, it was our defense giving it right. We saw, if I'm not mistaken, from Georgia Southern. And then Uncle Joe sending the right blitz packages, and then right away after that, Tanner threw an interception. What a surprise! So there were also some other events during the overall defense again did their job and looked what made our offense make them look worse than they actually were.
From what I recall, Georgia Southern literally had one drive that was longer than 50 yards, and it only resulted in a field goal. So the defense was fine.
And that game did not show it, at least in the footage that we got. But
it showed if you were paying attention. I don't know.
There's really nothing new here. I think what surprises us is that our defense is fine, our offense is lacking, and our defense is picking up on it, and that Tyler Johnson is a monster.
the entire wide receiver core are magicians.
See, Well,
right, but you have a game where you have Tyler Johnson, who's like Georgia Southern, not known their defense, and so he just could run free.
Griff, you're there?
He's gone. He's gone forever. Well, what I've determined from this last game is I can't figure out if Tanner Morgan is good or not.
Yeah.
Because he's completing well over.
He's a fifth.
He's completing over 60% of his passes, 7-to-2 touchdown interception ratio. So it's like, and he has a clutch gene.
But he did. The Tanner Morgan, is down. Third and fourth thing. So we make the big plays at the right time.
That is true.
But my concern is if we were playing say, Iowa, how many of those balls that he threw were going to get intercepted? How many interceptions does he throw against Iowa? Because Georgia Southern dropped two of them. They dropped two of them that should have been picked off, really badly.
Well, we'll see once Big Ten play comes, but we'll also have, I think, a lot different plays. We're not going to be running Bryce Williams up the middle every other down. We'll probably use a couple different backs. We'll probably use Seth Green. We'll probably use maybe we'll be using Martinez at Jalak. Who knows?
I mean, this
We'll
week was
see
an
how the
improvement.
play call turns out.
This week was an improvement to which Brevin Stanford was at least on the field.
But that's
And
it.
he pancaked a dude. That was pretty great.
Do you report on for down yet on fourth? Do you call?
I don't know. This game got on my nerves. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't have much to say this week because I'm sad. That game made me sad.
Larranz, can you look at this? And let's look at this in this perspective. What teams right now would kill to be 3-0? I can name a couple in the Big Ten off the top of my head. Purdue, Michigan State. Who else? Oh, Maryland. Shall I
Nebraska.
proceed? Oh my God.
Well, we are halfway to a bowl.
Even though we might be a shaky throw, we're still halfway to a bowl.
You know, my fear, and I think this is a rational fear, I fear that we are turning into the fake ID of college football right now. Where people are like, are the Gophers good? Or are they just surviving? Because the thing is, you ain't doing that against Penn State, okay? You aren't doing that against Wisconsin. You aren't doing that against a Michigan or an Iowa. Like, if you are 3rd and 30 from your 6-yard line with a minute left against one of those teams, you lost. You have lost the game.
That's a rational fear.
So, like, I fear that, like, we haven't, like, the good thing, my optimism comes from, it is very clear that we have not seen this team's best football. Not even close. In fact, we have seen 3 consecutive weeks in some aspect of our worst possible football, but we win. The thing is, we haven't shown proof that we can play one complete game yet. We have shown no proof of it. So, like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yep.
Well, here's what we're going to do with that. We're going to rest up. We're going to go into the bye, which comes on to Kamal's going to be back and healthy. Rodney's going to be back healthy. Muhammad's going to be back and healthy. And we're going to start playing some Golden Gopher football that we played at the end of the year last year.
I mean, I can't say that.
No faith, Laura.
I can't say that the defense isn't already kind of playing up to that standard. Because I saw something ridiculous where it was like in the second half, the defense allowed 25 total yards.
Was it 5 yards to rush and 20 yards passing?
I was like, that is so disrespectful, but I appreciate it.
Love you, Uncle Joe.
That is Joe Rossi defense. That ain't Golden Gopher football. That is Joe Rossi defense. But more importantly, like, I don't care about some of the drops that have happened. That's not even my issue. What I care about and what's upsetting me is that the one thing that I thought I could depend on, whether or not Tanner was playing dumb or if, maybe we were having concentration drops. The one thing I was hoping was that this offensive line was gonna be nasty. They looked horrible. They looked a little bit better against. They looked a little bit better against Fresno State, but they looked awful against this last week, and they looked awful against South Dakota State. And that does not make me feel good because everyone we were playing was smaller than us.
So I want to mention this then. There was a good Twitter discussion going on with some fans and Ryan Burns from 24/7. And I think it's a valid point. Do you think the O-line was missing a nasty kind of character or player like a Donnell Green or not Connor Wilson or Jared Weiler leading that offensive line? Because I could tell there was, without Donnell, like that left tackle side was like,
But it wasn't even one side though. That sack that came on the back when it was like 2nd and 20, and then it was like a 3rd and 30 because of a 10-yard sack. They came right off of Falele. That wasn't Sam Schluter. In fact, it has consistently been Curtis Dunlap and Falele that have been problems. More Curtis Dunlap. But still, the thing is, I don't know if it's that nasty one is missing because I watched Falele in the Wisconsin game last year, and we definitely watched him against Georgia Tech. Dude can be disgusting, right? But, these first 3 weeks, he's just a really large dude that people are just going to run around. So I don't know. It seems like
gotta have a good balance between size and speed. Because last week, CBS Sports could not stop talking about how big our offensive line was and how our average offensive line is bigger than the current Minnesota Vikings offensive line.
what's like the third
People are
straight game?
Falele in the gaps and around the edge.
because I'm sitting here and
Which also makes it hard.
my issue is I'm watching Wisconsin's O-line that lost 4 of its starters, and they are just as disgusting as they normally are. That's what is missing, and I could see what they're talking about is our offensive line doesn't seem to be playing angry, because there was a point last year, let's remember, Bryce Williams scored 14 points on Wisconsin. Bryce Williams did that. Why? Because the offensive line was throwing people, okay? Throwing people. So averaging a yard against Georgia Southern is not... That ain't it. This ain't it. So I'm not very happy with it. That's my biggest fear, because it was the literal last thing I thought was going to be an issue. I thought pass protection was going to be a problem. But run blocking, we haven't had a running back go over 100 yards yet. We haven't had a running back average more than 5 yards a carry yet. That's bad. Really, really bad. Welcome to my TED Talk.
You watch more Wisconsin football and all that. How much of it is Jonathan Taylor?
Based off of these,
Does Jonathan Taylor just make the O-line look better?
based on the massive holes I've seen him. Because one thing to be clear, once Jonathan Taylor gets to the second level and he gets contact, oh, he's running over you. The issue isn't that. The issue is I don't blame Bryce Williams, considering that by the time he got the ball, there were 3 dudes in the backfield.
Or in his holes when he's
or in his holes. At least Jonathan Taylor. No, maybe the Wisconsin offensive line isn't as good as it was last year. But you know what? There aren't 3 dudes in the backfield when he gets the ball. I don't care what's happening. If it's a 3rd and 1, they get in that. That's
like that 4th and 1, which we usually get.
And notice that Georgia Southern didn't even particularly load the box all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't need, South Dakota, they loaded the box. Sure, great, whatever. Fresno State, most of the time loaded the box. Georgia Southern didn't. Because they knew what was scarier than our run game. Our wide receivers. Now, they couldn't do anything about it. Because Tyler Johnson is that dude. But yeah, no, the offense, because everything else, play calling, sure, whatever. That could be fixed. Because all you have to do is throw it to the wide receivers. Maybe have a rotation of running backs. Rodney out of the backfield. Whatever you want to do, sure. I'm not afraid of that. Joe Rossi's defense is Joe Rossi's defense. But this offensive line, something is not right with them. Because we have too many monsters in the backfield to be struggling the way we are. Because, if they keep playing like this, I don't care if we get Rodney and Muhammad back, they're going to keep getting injured quickly.
So we're going to be like Purdue's offense.
Yeah, we got better running backs than them, though. So, we ain't going to be that bad.
Because for me, coming into the season, for me, it was actually offense that scared me the most. Of course, we talked about our coveted running back core and wide receiver core. It's just that rewatching that Georgia Southern game, the amount of times, I'm not sure if Tanner was going through his reads, but those passes shouldn't have been passes, and he should have just pulled it and go. Quarterback concerns me. Come on, Tanner, you gotta do better than that. O-line is now scaring me. And the third thing, why aren't we using our tight ends like we did in Fresno State for one drive? I know I saw Brevin Spanford, like you mentioned, Larranz, pancake a dude, but come on.
I mean, I understand your worries, and I'm obviously agreeing with some of them, but we also have to understand what we're when it's 3rd and long. I'm not scared anymore. That we're gonna back up. Even this past game, it was 3rd and 15, and Tanner, lays himself out for 16 or 17 yards and gets the first down. Yeah, 3rd and 30, and then Demetrius catches 2 balls from Tanner. I'm not worried about 3rd and 4th downs like I usually do in extending drives. We have the talent to do that. So obviously some of our drives aren't as efficient, but we're putting these drives together and usually resulting in. So we can obviously be a lot better on several of those ends, but I wouldn't hit panic mode just yet.
I can't get with it because I get what you're saying, because I was the beautiful thing about the schedule is that I thought that most of the teams that would be challenges for us would have to quote unquote show their hand before they play us. Example, Nebraska would have to play, Ohio State before us. or Purdue had to play Vanderbilt and TCU before they play us. And I was like, cool, we shouldn't have to show our hand against these teams, which we didn't. Not really.
Besides the Philly special.
Besides the Philly special. Which, like, technically we could have stopped them, and even if we didn't get it, wouldn't have mattered too much. But I'm like, what we showed our bread and butter, which is inside zone, is bad. It's bad. That's my issue. Like, the fundamental thing that every time you run the ball, you should get at least 4 yards on it. 3, maybe 4 yards on it. It's bad. If you're getting hit in the backfield, half of the times you hand off the ball, that's bad. And I want to give complete respect to the teams that we're playing, because we are not playing scrubs by any means. But if you ain't gonna push people who are about 100 pounds less than you, about 2-3 inches smaller than you, and they aren't loading the box, and you can't make a hole, that's terrifying. That is a horrible thing to go into Big Ten play thinking about. Because I would be completely okay if every game we won it because our running backs bailed us out. I would have been okay with that. But the fact that we had to go to our nuclear option every game, I don't like that. That doesn't inspire confidence.
Right, and we've also agreed, but we also have been running through 4 or 5 different running backs throughout the start of this season. I mean, we've seen Cam, we've seen Rodney, we've seen Mo, we've seen Bryce. You have the offensive line. It's just sitting through running backs behind them. They don't know their tendencies, so we can maybe see communication between offensive line and running back being spotty because there are so many different running backs running behind the line. Like, inconsistency is not great either.
But
like you want to change it. That's why I think it's great we have the Rodney Mo combo, because you have your outside guy, and then you have runaway locomotive. I'm gonna run your butt over the middle. After I lower my pad kind of guy. But when you get, you start getting Cam and you start getting Bryce and just maybe less experienced backs, I think that makes it difficult on the offensive line and easier for defenses.
But my thing is, I get that, but it's that in 3 games. Now, Rodney looked like he was going to have a lot more successful game in this one before he got hurt. Like, he looked like he was going to have a lot more success. But my thing was, like, I haven't seen it for a full game. And, like, none of them have had, like, a great game yet. Like, for example, for Illinois, you knew that, Reggie Corrigan was injured one game, and you were like, damn, that sucks. But as soon as he came back, 8 yards a carry, 100 and something yards. Like, you knew that was going to happen. The thing is, I've seen all four running backs in so far, and none of them have yet to show the nastiness that we've seen pretty much all of them, save Cam Wiley show, because we don't know him yet. All of them haven't shown really that nastiness that we need. Now, of course, last year we know that, like, the running game didn't really turn on until around the Ohio State game. So I'm curious to see how long it takes for this running game to show up. because I think, we could probably hang with, we can hang with Purdue because they can't seem to be able to stop a toddler running the ball. And we can probably hang with Illinois because it's Illinois. But I'm trying to get to, like, those first 8 wins. I'm trying to be an 8-0-fer. And I can't see it right now.
So do you think this bye being this weekend, is going to be crucial for these next pretty much now week and a half left until we play Purdue for the Big Ten opener?
Oh, in my opinion, yeah. And I would go as far to say, like, this Purdue game, in my mind, is the most important game for me. Is the most important game because it's a game that we should win. But Elijah Sindelar is probably coming back for this game. And he's going to be pissed. And Purdue is going to be desperate to win because their fan base is angry. Much like our fan base was when we played Purdue last year. So I'm pretty afraid.
But Sindelar, we know Jeff Fromm, we know Elijah Sindelar, and just in general rely on the pass. This man, through 3 games, has thrown over 100 passes, almost 1,000 yards. And if that's all they got, I'm very confident that Uncle Joe knows what to do.
That's fair, but we
But
all
that
know
offense, our offense,
Whereas Tanner Morton, the Purdue defense, has shown our explosive play ability, both with the receiving core and with our run game. And that's going to be Purdue's downfall, is adjusting to a team that actually knows what it's like to have both successful.
Well,
because it looks like Purdue's running back only has 31 carries for 91 yards. That's not going to do very much in Big Ten play.
it really isn't. But who knows?
Rodney Smith hasn't even doubled his carries, and he's over doubled the yards.
Yep.
So
let's move on to this then.
Like I said, everything.
If we can do last year like we did against Purdue, contain Rondell Moore, and sack the crap out of the quarterback, we'll be just fine.
Fair.
So then to wrap up, then
and Marcus Bailey's out.
Oh yeah. So then this is bye week. So let's each give key takeaways of what the team should be focusing on this bye, and then what you're excited about watching in Big Ten play or collegiately.
I guess I can start. We can. This week the team needs to look forward to the 78%. I think that's pretty clear. And let's go offensive line play and QB reads. So 78% O-line QB reads. Something I'm looking forward to in Big Ten play is to see how overrated Michigan is and see Wisconsin destroy them this week.
Oh, that's hot.
Wait, hold up. Do we want Wisconsin to destroy them, or will we much rather Michigan beat the crap out of them to remind
if this was
them
the
that
I just want this to be the NFL so they can have a tie.
But they can only be a tie scoring 6 points each. That's the only thing that's allowed.
I don't want Wisconsin to beat the crap out of them, but Wisconsin's gonna beat the crap out of them.
Let's remember the two teams Wisconsin shut out, which they did shut out, and that's really great. But they did combine for a record of 7-18 last year. In Central Michigan, who went 1-11, and USF, who went 6-7. So it's not like they were playing anyone good. But I don't know. I want Michigan to beat the crap out of them. Why? Because we don't have to play Michigan, at least until possibly the Big Ten Championship game. And if Wisconsin wins this, they are going to remember who they are. Because P.J. Fleck doesn't believe in momentum. I call bull crap. Wisconsin wins this game, they are going to be rolling to the Big Ten Championship game. Anyway, my things to look at, the only thing I figure I want to look at is this offensive line. Because honestly, with the offensive line play alone, I thought we should win 8 games. That's all I want. Offensive line, get healthy. That's it. Thing I'm looking forward to. Hot take. Illinois upsets Nebraska under the lights.
Oh, that's hot. I'll take it.
That's piping hot.
Brandon Peters has been balling out for Illinois. Balling out. So I want Illinois to beat them on a last-second stupid field goal. So that once and for all, because Colorado did not seem to do the job of shutting Nebraska up, I want Illinois to end them. So that's my take.
ESPN's matchup predictor has Nebraska 75 to Illinois 25. Woof.
The spread is what? 13 and over under is 61.5 for that game.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, negative
Woof.
13
Yeah.
Nebraska.
And Reggie Corbin, 7.5 yards a carry. Brandon Peters, 9 TDs. My God, this
All
dude.
right. Illini, I'm rooting for you. Take down the Huskers.
Oski wow.
So for me, we mentioned it very briefly, but 2 things. So one for sure, for me it's overall offense. So Tanner, quarterback, O-line, tight ends, running backs, and receivers. But also play calling. I need that fixed. I'm really, the last 3 games, again, it's probably me in panic mode, but Kirk, I know we run inside zone, but when you do run up the middle multiple times in the second half of Georgia Southern, and you know we can do better than that, why do you keep doing it? So for me, play calling and overall the entire offense for this bye. And you two already said what I wanted to say. Wisconsin and Michigan, and then I hope Illinois upsets Nebraska. But yeah, anything else?
Nope.
Oh, well, actually, I got one more thing. So we got this 11 a.m. Indiana UConn game this Saturday, and you're probably thinking, Griff, what in the world could you be talking about with Indiana and UConn? And the answer is nothing. But I just want to see UConn win, and that's all.
Oh.
No.
But
No.
Indiana has a negative 27 spread.
I'm just saying it'd be funny if they won.
I like Indiana. I just want to see them get to a bowl game. They deserve a bowl game.
They ain't deserve crap, man.
All right.
Oh.
Rip Paul, rip Tom Allen and the Hoosiers. All right. Well, I'd like to thank you to all of our fans and listeners listening into this episode of OPA Podcast. I'd like to apologize. There was some sound inconsistencies, but I hope you're able to understand what points we're trying to get at tonight. But we'll go rest up this bye week. For sure, I'm going to see a Gopher football practice at TCF with the marching band this Sunday, I believe. So, hashtag band and football relations.
Hopefully the weather pans out for y'all.
Yeah, hopefully. But, again, my name is Jason.
I'm Larranz.
And I'm Griffin.
And we'll see you all next time. Have a good night.
Oop.